Do you want to save a few dollars on your auto maintenance during this crappy economy? Stick around, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, Tim here, overlanding for fun and amateur oil change technician. In today's video, I'd like to do a continuation of the easy maintenance that you can do on your vehicle, like the 5-tire rotation video that I just did a couple weeks ago. And today we're going to go ahead and change the oil on the 21 Bronco. It's at its 10,000 mile point, and I'm actually getting on the road tomorrow to take it up to Super Celebration in Wisconsin, so oil change is definitely needed before I go. One of the reasons I wanted to do a video on the oil change, and I don't know about your circumstances. Now, I used to drive about 100 miles a day round trip to and from the office, and so my time was very valuable. So I tell you what, I went to the quick lube oil change places, and I was spending about $100 a time to go ahead and get it done. Quite honestly, you could do the oil change yourself for probably half that cost. So if time is an issue with you, I understand that, but if you have time to do it, I would recommend go ahead and giving it a try. So for this video, I'm going to be using my 21 Ford Bronco, but this process is very similar with all manufacturers of vehicles. I would recommend reviewing your owner's manual for any procedures that are specific to your vehicle. So to go ahead and get started, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and open up the oil fill spout, and what that's going to do is allow air to come into the engine behind the oil as it leaves. So we'll go ahead and put that up there. And then the other thing we want to do is just go ahead and lift up the dipstick. Now that we got those done, we'll go ahead and get underneath the vehicle to open up the drain plug. Alrighty, while the oil's finishing draining down below, we're going to go ahead and take off the cap for the oil filter. In the case of the Bronco, it's a 27 millimeter. And it shouldn't be super tight. There is, I believe, a torque spec. That's on the side of the housing here. Be careful, there's still a little bit of oil in the cap. And it does say on the side of it, 24 to 27 Newton meters. In these newer filters, these cartridge type filters, you have some O-rings that you'll need to replace on that filter canister. So we'll go ahead and remove the old ones. what I think I'll do to fill up time is put some music in the background and let it play in a little bit of a hyperlapse. Yeah. So the big O-rings are the same size. So no worries about which one they go on. The fun one will be this little one here. Obviously, when you're screwing this thing down, you want to make sure that you're not cross-threading it. I'm taking it down as much as I can by hand before I put the ratchet in. I'm just going to tighten it down until it doesn't tighten anymore. Give it a quick snug, and then we said 24 to 27 nanometers. I'm sorry, 24 to 27 Newton meters of torque. The markings on this wrench for this low of a torque setting is kind of hard. There's a kind of a big gap. This one's geared to some higher torque settings, but there is a mark for 27.1, so I'm going to go ahead and set it to that, and then I'm going to roll it back just a little bit. Okay, all right. That is torqued. So now we're going to go ahead and take some paper towels, go back underneath, clean up our mess a little bit, and go ahead and get our oil plug back in the oil pan. So we're back up underneath the truck now, and what I want to do is go ahead and just kind of wipe up a little bit of that last bit of dripping oil. I'll get the oil plug back in. So in my community, AutoZone has a free oil disposal program. I would check around at some of the auto parts stores in your area to see if they do the same thing. All right, now that we've got everything cleaned up down below and pinned up, next thing is go ahead and put some oil in the engine. Now this engine holds 7 quarts of oil. There's been a little controversy on whether it's 6 or 7 or where it's at in between. I think the consensus is that this is a slow drain. So a lot of it depends on how much time you have to allow it to all drain down. So the thing I would recommend is at least put 5 quarts in, maybe 6, test it, see where it's at, and then adjust from there. Let it run for a little bit, let the oil cycle through the engine, and test it from there. So now that I got the first 6 quarts in, I want to go ahead and start the motor, let it cycle for about a minute or so, get the oil through all throughout the engine, and we'll let it sit for a minute or two, then go ahead and check the oil level again. So this is actually showing just a little under halfway in the acceptable range. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and probably put about a third probably about a third of this in there. So it was a little over 900 milliliters. I guess about 946 milliliters. So I'm going to take it to just right above the 600. That should be about 1/3 of the bottle. So we've come to the final step of the oil change. Now, once again, this is with my Ford Bronco. The directions might be different for your vehicle. And once again, I recommend that you reference your owner's manual to find the exact procedures for your vehicle. All right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and press the menu button. You're going to want to scroll down to the very bottom to settings. Hit the OK key. You're going to select oil life. Hit the OK key again. And you can see in my case, it was right at 10,000 miles, or just actually a little over. And so I had 0% oil life remaining. So to go ahead and reset it, what you want to do is hold down the OK key, and you'll see it resetting, and then now it shows 100% remaining. So that is an engine oil change in a nutshell. As you can see, it was a very simple process to do. I didn't have to have, outside of the torque wrench, I didn't have to have any special tools. Well, I guess maybe in a couple large sockets, but you know, these are things that you can get fairly inexpensively, either on Amazon at your local auto parts store. I think the big thing is I think it's the sense of accomplishment to be able to do some of this maintenance on your own, along with saving a little bit of money. You know, that's a big thing nowadays. So if you like this video, make sure to like and share it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And hopefully one day we'll catch you on the trail. Tim out.